Hello and welcome to my presentation on pests, what to do when your houseplants come under attack. Now this is a specialized Integrated Pest Management Plan, that's otherwise known as IPM, and I have created this just for fun as based on what I've learned at Valencia College here in spring 2025. Now, in IPM, Integrated Pest Management, we first define pests. So you may be surprised to know that a pest is actually defined pretty loosely. It is any organism that interferes with human activities and goals, in this case specifically related to our attempts to grow houseplants. And I know that this particular pest that we'll be discussing today looks really cute, but don't let that fool you. Technically, this specific pest that we'll be looking into is probably the most threatening thing that is attacking the houseplants in this specific region where this pest inhabits. So, moving right along, first we identify the pest. In this case, we are looking at the predominant pest of houseplants in this subregion in Winter Garden, Florida. This pest is known as Felis Catus, subspecies skipper. And now you may be dealing with a subspecies of Felis catus that is similar to skipper. I'll be mostly focusing on skipper itself as a pest. However, some of these would probably apply to your Felis catus subspecies, some may not. So please adapt your own IPM plan accordingly. But characteristics of the subspecies skipper is that he has a tiny tail. He is what is known as a Japanese bobtail. He was born that way. And it's really a remarkable defining feature of him. So if you see the tiny tail, you might have a subspecies skipper in your house. You also might see a feed me glare. He's very food motivated, so that glare comes up very often. He also accompanies that glare with demanding vocalizations, yelling at you, meowing very loudly. You'll know when you hear it. Last but not least, and this is very key in identifying his effects on houseplants, is that he only has about 4 to 6 remaining teeth in his mouth. You'll see some photos later on of what that can look like on your houseplants. Second thing we do in a good IPM plan is that we monitor. So is skipper present? Can you find skipper in your crop region, in this case, your house? You should probably look at some sunshine. He loves taking naps there. He also really is attracted to fuzzy blankets, so you may find him there. And stairs, which is relevant in the next photo here. He loves lying in wait on them, so you really need to look high on top of the cabinets maybe, and low, watch your feet, your ankles. There could be skipper there. You might also see, and this is where I mentioned the 4 to 6 remaining teeth, you may see evidence of skipper on your plants. And this is a classic kind of aged effect of his teeth trying to puncture some plants. Now, you might notice there aren't a full set of teeth there. So that is a defining characteristic of specifically the subspecies skipper. It also looks like this. This is an old monstera leaf, and he had quite a lot of time going at that one. He also may actually be there. So please notice, you may see the pest himself. He's very cute, like I said, but don't be fooled. Okay, so some mechanical controls that we can implement to encourage a harmonious existence of both houseplants and skipper in the house. You can remove houseplants from the vicinity. Now, you might be remembering that photo of him on top of the cabinets, so obviously this can be a little difficult. Since skipper, this specific subspecies of Felis catus, does tend to want to climb. But you can also remove skipper from the vicinity of your houseplants by trapping or distraction, and I'll go into more detail with those in a minute here. In fact, right now. Trapping has proven effective, especially if you have a small skipper-sized box. You can actually offer multiple boxes, and then skipper will be momentarily, temporarily trapped in them. It's a unique phenomenon. Actually, it's not unique to just this subspecies, so I would recommend trying it if you have Felis catus in your home. Might work for you as well. Distraction, you can provide toys that he would prefer to chew on besides your plants, so it's a way of like deferring his attentions elsewhere. Also, as I mentioned, this particular subspecies of Felis catus is very highly food motivated, so you can actually offer him treats in lieu of plant. And I would recommend caution though, because he might sometimes associate his actions of chewing on your plants with treats, and then you've lost the whole battle. Cultural controls. Now, this is actually one of the most effective methods I have found in your solid IPM plan for addressing subspecies skipper. Trap cropping. Now, trap cropping is introducing a variety of plant that is more enticing to the pest than the actual crop that you want to preserve. So in this case, this is a cat palm. Totally coincidental name of the palm, but it is fully non-toxic to this particular pest. And it's very appealing, those fronds and the fringes of the palm. He really wants to chew on them with all of his 4 teeth. And so he tends to think that he's getting away with it while he munches on this perfectly harmless cat palm. Meanwhile, he leaves all of the rest of your house plants alone. So it's a very effective method of trap cropping against this particular Felis Catus subspecies. In conclusion, like I said at the beginning, all types of Felis Catus are different, so your subspecies may be similar to skipper, but it may not. So please take what you wish from this IPM plan that I've created for you. Again, this was based on this cute little pest that I find in my home. I would love to coexist happily with houseplants and skippers. So here are the methods of IPM that I have found particularly effective, and I hope it's helpful for you.